A famous saying is, educate a child according to its ways. What are the ways of a child? And what does it mean, educate a child according to its ways? Everyone tries to do it in their own way. But when you look at society, you look at the schools, you look at families, and you look at all the children that go through trauma because they're not educated according to their way, and you look at how different our children are from us, they're not what we expect or want of them, we wonder what education really means. There are many people that have different perspectives or opinions. They may be spiritual, they may be physical, educational, emotional. There are different ways. But how does one actually educate a child according to its way? Now, if you remember, if you ever had love, and some of us occasionally have had love or give love, when you truly love someone, you don't try to change them. You accept them exactly the way they are. And you attend and support them in being who they are and what they are. So the first thing you have to know in educating children is exactly that. We tend to try and tell children what we want them to hear, what we want them to know, what we think is good for them when they're older. And we forget to really love them and listen to who they are, what they need, and their own developmental way. Every child grows and develops differently, yet we put them too often in a system that doesn't understand how to deal with that because it's out of the box, so to speak. Actually, each person is an individual and needs individual attention to listen to them, who they are, what they are. And in this way, there are a lot of issues. A child is very simple when they're born, pure heart, and everyone loves a child. Everyone relates to a child, or at least most people do, because of the open heart and simple purity, which reminds people they have also. It's that part of us that often we have forgotten about, but a child brings it out. We relate and it doesn't talk back to us usually. So, if we remember that every child is born with that purity, why don't we educate a child to remain pure, to remain with that simplicity, to remain with that beauty that it has, and develop it? Because every child, when it's born, if you look at it, you see it has its own individuality, its own personality, its own unique everything. So our system should be to allow and to support everyone to be their own unique individual. When everyone is their own unique individual, then we can live together as a whole society. When we try to be one, we just destroy everyone and everything, because we are not the same. So when we come to educating anyone, we have to first listen. Not come with an agenda, not come with what we want to teach them, but come with listening to what they need and what they want. And then teach them in a way that's supportive of them being themselves, not them being what we want them to be. In order to do that, a lot of our system has to change. One of the things that we can do is have more vocational schools. Schools where children go out and are taught not just in a science lab, which is great, I enjoy the science lab, but take them out on field trips with animals, teach them about animals, the physiology of everything, how things work. Teach them how to be farmers. Schools can have a lot of projects with planting things and growing things, and that will be a wonderful way for children to learn how to sustain life and what basic life is. In high school, people can learn plumbing, electricity, to learn things that are practical and real, not just intellectual and have nothing to do with the world of reality, but rather things that support them when they leave, that they can be themselves, find themselves, because they have the tools for it. It's not just something in a book. This needs a whole revamping of the way society is taught. And it also goes into the way that parents think they have to educate children. Parents are part of this process, and while there are many who do homeschooling, there are many that are in the system. And we each need to ask ourselves, what can I do to better my education, that I should be myself and not just what everyone wants me to be? How do I better educate my children so that they can be who they are? Every child is a different child to the same parent, and every parent is a different parent to each child. And we need to look at it properly to allow them to be what they can be and guide them in that way. And if we listen to what they are, we listen to what they want and support them, they know we love them. And when they know we love them, they're more open to being themselves. So there is a lot of work that we still need to do in this area. But at least we can now have an understanding of a base that we need to redevelop and redo for society as a whole. There have been individuals who have done this in their own unique way, in bits and pieces, but they're only individuals and small groups. Society is very big, and to rebuild society also needs a full understanding of how to properly educate, not based on what society wants, but on each individual.